Welcome to this workshop on NVivo. We will be going over the basics of the newest version of this software. Here's the overall outline of what this workshop will cover. We'll be starting with what NVivo is and how to download it, then moving on to the general layout, features, and how they can be used to import and analyze data for qualitative research. This workshop will refer to NVivo as NVivo13. However, QSR International refers to the 13th edition of NVivo simply as NVivo. We've referred to it as NVivo13 just to differentiate it from earlier versions of the software. So, what is NVivo? NVivo is a qualitative data analysis software package produced by QSR International. NVivo helps qualitative researchers organize, analyze, and find insights in qualitative data such as interviews, open-ended survey responses, field notes, journal articles, social media data, web content, and other qualitative data. So to download the newest version of NVivo, the first thing you have to do if you're affiliated with American University is go get a license from this website right here. If we go to that website, there will be a very short survey to fill out where you just put in your information, you'll agree to the terms above, and you'll put your primary role at AU, your affiliation, and your university email. And once you do that, it will email you the license information. Make sure you check your spam folder. A lot of times they go to spam, but you should get an email in your inbox that looks like this with directions on how to download the software and your licensing key that you'll need to access NVivo. The email should have a link to the My NVivo website. If you click that link, it'll take you to the My NVivo website where you put in your student email or AU affiliated email. You have to do this or the licensing information will not work. But you'll put in your email if you already have an account and sign in. If you have not had an NVivo account before, you will have to sign up first. Once you have done that and have logged in, it will ask for this licensing key. You will put that in and it will give you directions to download the software. Once NVivo is downloaded, you can open it up. The icon should look like this little blue star with 4 stars in the center. I'm already logged in, but if you have not logged in yet, once you open it, you'll have to log into your account. Again, make sure it's your American University email address that you made the account with that's attached to the licensing number. If you want a new project, you'll hit this button that says New Project, and that will give you a new document. However, we are going to be using a sample project in NVivo. This sample project we'll be using for this tutorial is called Environmental Change Down East. This tutorial uses publicly available data provided by NVivo. It consists of materials from a study on perceptions about development and land use change on coastal communities in North Carolina. We'll be using this data to explore the different NVivo functions. All right, so just hit sample project here, and the sample project will be created so that we have data already to work with for the tutorial. We're going to skip the tour, but if you do need more information, you can always do the NVivo tour. There's an overview of the sample project if you would like more details about where the data comes from and more details on the project. But we are not going to go over that right now. The most important part of of the data organization is this blue navigation panel on the left side of the screen. The upper left navigation panel is made up of drawers, which contain the main functionality of NVivo. The most important drawers are the data drawer and the coding drawer. So the data drawer, as you can see here, includes all of the data within your NVivo project. So if you click on it, you can see the files classifications, and externals. If you wish to locate memos, these will also be under the notes drawer. This will contain all of the data that you've imported or created in NVivo. So if we click on the files, they may take a little bit to load depending on how many files there are. They should pop up right here. As you can see, the overview of sample project is one of the documents under the data files. So if we click on that, it will open up the actual document. And that's where you can read the description of the sample project. The other files, here's file classifications, which you'll see image GIS, interview files, references. You can use this to organize the different types of files you may import into NVivo. And then externals will include external files that may be too big to upload into NVivo, so you just create an external file link. The next organization on the left panel is the coding drawer. The coding drawer includes the codes folder. Codes refers to your coding categories. If you click on it, you can see all the different coding categories that the data has been, that have been coded for the data, and the references to that individual code, and how many files the code is in. So if you click on references, that'll pull up each statement that has been coded with this code. And if you click on files, it'll pull up the 6 files. So here are the references for the code balance. And you can scroll down and see all the different references. It'll also include what file it came from and how many references were from that file. As you can see for interviews, it gives you the time rather than the actual statement, since these are not transcribed interviews. And you can do that for each code that you see. It makes it very easy to pull up codes and analyze coded data across different documents and files. So to analyze your data, you must first mark part of it or all of each piece of a member of a code. You will want to take care in defining your codes to be sure you can analyze the data appropriately. You can also do child coding, so you can have one more broader overarching code, such as economy in this example. And then within economy, you can have agriculture, fishing, jobs, and cost of living, tourism, that all become coded under economy as well, but then you can also have them separated to make the data analysis easier once you're going back and looking at your data. As you can see, there's even another child code under fishing. The fishing code has another smaller code underneath it that also will be coded under fishing or aquaculture and fishing industry decline. The other thing I'd like to point out is the menu bar across the top. You'll find that NVivo has multiple ways to do data analysis. And in particular, in the later videos in this workshop, we'll be examining the different features under the Home, Import, and Explore menu options. So if you go into them, they will give you a lot of options for data analysis, and we'll go further into detail with them in the next video.